Risk management is a critical part of construction project management, ensuring that potential risks to the project, such as delays, cost overruns, safety issues, or unforeseen challenges, are identified and mitigated in advance. By effectively managing risks, project managers can prevent or minimize negative impacts, ensuring that the project stays on track, within budget, and on schedule. Risk management involves identifying potential risks, assessing their impact, and then developing strategies to mitigate or respond to them. It is a continuous process that requires regular monitoring and adjustments as the project progresses. Key phases of risk management in construction projects. 1. Risk identification. The first step in risk management is identifying potential risks that could affect the project. Risks can arise from various sources, including internal project challenges, external factors, or unforeseen events. Types of risks. Schedule risks. Delays caused by weather, labor strikes, supply chain disruptions, or design changes. Cost risks. Budget overruns due to inaccurate cost estimates, unexpected price increases in materials, or scope changes. Safety risks. Injuries or accidents on site, non-compliance with safety regulations, or inadequate safety protocols. Legal and regulatory risks. Changes in laws or regulations that impact the project, disputes over contracts, or non-compliance with building codes. Environmental risks. Unforeseen environmental impacts, such as hazardous site conditions or natural disasters, floods, earthquakes. Quality risks. Risks that affect the quality of materials or workmanship, leading to defects, rework, or failure to meet standards. Resource risks. Shortage or unavailability of labor, materials, or equipment. The identification process often involves brainstorming sessions with key project stakeholders, including the project manager, team members, subcontractors, and suppliers. Tools like SWOT analysis, strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats, or risk registers can help catalog potential risks. Second, risk assessment. After identifying potential risks, the next step is assessing their likelihood and impact. This involves analyzing the potential severity of each risk and determining how likely it is to occur. Risk assessment process. Likelihood. How probable is the risk to occur? It could be rated on a scale, e.g., low, medium, high. Impact. What would be the potential effect of the risk if it occurs? This could range from minimal impact, e.g., slight delays, to severe consequences, e.g., total project failure. Risk matrix. A risk matrix is a tool used to evaluate and categorize risks based on their likelihood and impact. The matrix helps prioritize which risks require immediate attention and which can be monitored. Example of a basic risk matrix. Impact, likelihood. Low likelihood, medium likelihood. High likelihood, high impact, medium. Risk, high risk. Critical risk, medium. Impact, low risk, medium risk. High risk, low impact, low risk, low risk. Medium risk. 3. Risk mitigation strategies. Once risks are identified and assessed, project managers need to develop strategies to mitigate or respond to them. The goal is to reduce the likelihood of the risk occurring or minimize its impact if it does. Risk mitigation techniques. Avoidance. Taking steps to completely eliminate the risk. For example, selecting a less risky construction site or using proven technology to avoid technical issues. Reduction. Taking actions to reduce the likelihood of a risk occurring or to minimize its potential impact. This might involve implementing better safety protocols to reduce the risk of accidents, or using contingency funds to cover unexpected cost overruns. Transfer. Shifting the risk to another party, such as purchasing insurance, using fixed-price contracts, or outsourcing risky parts of the project to a subcontractor. Acceptance. Sometimes risks are inevitable or too minor to address, so they may be accepted. This might involve preparing for the consequences, e.g., budgeting for potential delays, and planning for how to respond if the risk materializes. Risk monitoring and control. Risk management is not a one-time task. It is an ongoing process throughout the life of the project. Once risks are identified and mitigation strategies are in place, continuous monitoring is essential to track risks and ensure that the project is progressing as planned. Risk monitoring tools. Risk register. A risk register is a living document that lists all identified risks, their likelihood and impact, mitigation strategies, and the current status of each risk. It is updated regularly to reflect changes. Regular risk reviews. Holding periodic meetings to review the status of identified risks, monitor any new risks, and adjust mitigation strategies as necessary. KPIs, key performance indicators. Tracking specific KPIs related to the project, such as construction progress, safety records, or budget adherence, helps identify potential risks early. Site inspections. Regular site visits by project managers and safety officers ensure that any on-the-ground risks, such as safety hazards, equipment failures, or quality issues, are identified quickly. Fifth, risk response. In case a risk event occurs, the project team must respond quickly and effectively to minimize its impact. The response may involve activating contingency plans, reallocating resources, or adjusting the project scope. Common risk response actions. Implementing contingency plans. Having a backup plan in place that can be activated if a risk occurs. For example, having extra funds available for budget overruns or backup suppliers if material delivery is delayed. Revising the project schedule. If a schedule risk materializes, e.g., delay in material supply, the project manager may need to revise the timeline, reassign tasks, or add overtime shifts to compensate. Addressing safety issues. If a safety risk arises, the project manager should halt work, conduct an investigation, and implement corrective actions to prevent further incidents. Negotiating with stakeholders. If the project is facing legal, financial, or contractual risks, project managers may need to negotiate with clients, contractors, or suppliers to reach mutually beneficial resolutions. 6. Communication and documentation. Clear communication is essential throughout the risk management process. Stakeholders need to be kept informed about potential risks and mitigation strategies, and any changes to risk status should be communicated promptly. Documentation of risk management activities. Risk Management Plan, a document that outlines the approach to identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks throughout the project. Risk registers and logs, detailed records of all identified risks, their analysis, and the mitigation actions taken. Incident reports. If a risk event occurs, an incident report should be created to document what happened, how it was handled, and the outcome. 7. Post-project risk review. Once the project is completed, it is essential to conduct a post-project review to evaluate how risks were managed throughout the project. This review should identify lessons learned from risk events and management practices, assess the effectiveness of the risk mitigation strategies implemented, help improve future risk management practices for subsequent projects. Conclusion: effective risk management in construction projects helps to minimize potential negative impacts, ensuring that projects are completed on time, within budget, and to the required quality standards. By proactively identifying, assessing, and mitigating risks, project managers can handle uncertainties more efficiently and increase the chances of project success. Continuous monitoring, Clear communication and documentation are essential to keep risks in check and ensure that the project remains on track despite challenges.